This is big breaking emergency news. Go level evacuation orders are being issued. Mass evacuations are happening inside the United States right now in multiple different states. This is popping up, and we are seeing homes and businesses destroyed as well, right? So let's get into the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit it up for me down there. It helps to get these warnings out when you hit that like and that subscribe so people know what's going on. All right, this is a live situation. People are being forced to leave their homes right now, and our country is also being destroyed in the aftermath of this too, right? Entire regions become almost unlivable and uninhabitable and unable to do business there anymore after this destruction sweeps through, right? And people are being issued level 3 go now emergency evacuations by the fire department and the police department. All right, so let's get into this here. This is happening in multiple different states right now out west. All right, we're seeing this happen in Idaho and Wyoming are getting hit extremely hard right now. We also have situations in Washington and Oregon as well, but emergency evacuations are happening in Boise County, Idaho right now. It says here the Boise County Sheriff's Department has ordered a level 3 quote go evacuation for the Danskin Station and Hanging Valley subdivision. It says Lightning Creek Road is under a level 2 quote set evacuation, while South Fork Road is under a level 1 ready order. All right, so this is a current situation in Idaho and Wyoming. They are under massive fires right now. Multiple different fires are happening. There's also a 45,000 acre fire that's in Stanley, Idaho right now, and all these things have broken out very abruptly. So what's going on here? It says the Wapiti fire near Stanley and Grand Jean, Idaho has grown to 45,000 acres and is only 10% contained. It says the fire expanded on its northeast corner across Stanley Lake and Idaho Route 21, according to Rocky Mountain Complex Incident Management Team 1. It says the fire also grew westward and moved toward the Warm Springs area east of Lowman. The American Red Cross of Idaho and East Oregon established an evacuation center at the Stanley Community Center at 510 Eva Falls Avenue, according to the Custer County Sheriff's Office. Also, red flag warnings have been issued for major wind speeds that could help spread these fires as well. But where are these fires coming from? All right, what's going on here? This is 2 in Idaho. This one's 45,000 acres. And then we have another one, 163,000 acres in Wyoming. All right, this is massive. This is bigger than the city of Denver. All right. So it says wildfire burns 163,000 acres in northern Wyoming, forcing evacuations and I-90 closures. All right. All these fires just pop up out of nowhere, and they're massive. It says the House Draw fire is burning in northern Wyoming, and it's nearly the combined size of Denver and Salt Lake City, threatening structures, prompting evacuation orders, and forcing the closure of Interstate 90. All right, that's one of the main highways out here in northern Wyoming. All right, it's one of the main infrastructures that people have to get around, to get across the state, and it is now shut down from this fire. This is major. This is going to cut parts of the state off from resources. All right, they're going to have to divert them. There's going to be delays, going to be backups. This is a big mess, and they're having evacuations as well too. It says the blaze is just one of multiple wildfires burning in the state, taxing fire resources and prompting public health warnings due to heavy smoke. So these fires are overwhelming the systems. There's just so many popping up at once. How does this happen? And they're not even connected. It's not like, oh, it's the fire spreading into... They're distances away, right? They're 50 miles, 100 miles away, hundreds of miles away. And they're all starting at the same time, overwhelming the critical services. What's going on here? What do you guys think's happening? It says there's also 2 significant fires burning in Campbell County and another in Sheridan County. Meanwhile, fire officials are bracing for a rapid expansion of the Fish Creek fire near Togwotee Pass. Alright? So, these fires are not a joke. I've been relatively close, right, within a 50-mile radius of one of these major fires in New Mexico a couple years ago, and it's not a joke. Okay, the entire area was filled with smoke, and these fires were just popping up all over the place. All right, it was a threat. Everyone was wondering, are we next? Like, is our little... I was like out in the village, out in the desert, when I was living in my RV for a little bit, and we were concerned, right, that this fire was going to spread over here, or one of them was just going to pop up over here. Right? It's very unpredictable, and it could spread within a day. Right? Some of these fires double in size overnight. Within 24 hours, they're doubling from the wind and from the non-containment. Right? They're just overwhelmed, and nobody's even really fighting it sometimes because the conditions are so bad. They can't get people in there, and there's also not even enough people, right? Most of these firefighters are volunteers, especially the ones that fight wildfires. Most of them are volunteers, right? They're just local people in the community that live there and don't want to see stuff burn down, right? So they join the local fire department and help fight these wildfires. All right, that's what a lot of it is just people volunteering. Some people get paid. Sometimes you get a stipend, you get a little bit of money for what you do. All right, you'll get a little check or benefit or something like that, but overall it's mostly volunteer, right? And this one in Wyoming, 163,000 acres, okay? And they actually just arrested a guy who started a major fire in California. All right, this happened just in the past few months. All right, this guy was just arrested just a few days ago, actually, but this fire happened in the past few months. Okay, it says 26-year-old man from Northern California was arrested on Thursday after he was identified as an arson suspect responsible for starting one of California's largest wildfires in 2024. Right? It says the Thompson Fire, which was in eastern Oroville, destroyed 13 single-family homes and forced thousands of residents to evacuate for several days, and was started by Spencer Grant Anderson of Oroville, California, right, allegedly. And he was booked in the Butte County Jail on charges of arson to wildland and structures. All right, so there are people starting these fires. There are people burning our country down and destroying things, and a lot of times these areas don't recover. Okay, do you guys remember that massive fire in Texas? That was kind of memory hold. You guys remember that? Happened in Texas earlier this year. Largest one in Texas state history. It was like top 2 or 3 in the entire country for our country's history. The entire northern panhandle of Texas was burnt to smithereens, right? From Amarillo east all the way over to Oklahoma. It was cooked, destroyed, right? I remember covering this, and thousands and thousands of heads of cattle wiped out, lost their lives, didn't make it, caught in the fire. And that entire region is not going to bounce back, right? The ranchers, they're saying their stuff's destroyed, their grassland's destroyed that they've been working on, right? It was already a delicate system out there. They're saying their systems are destroyed, their wells are destroyed, their fencing is destroyed, their barns are destroyed. They don't want to rebuild, right? So a lot of them are just selling their land out and getting out, and this is affecting our food supply now, right? All from these fires that happened in Texas, and that thing spread like crazy. I remember covering it, and it was every day I was checking it. There was more and more fires, and there were so many dots for the fires on the map. On the fire map, there were so many different fires. It was insane, right? How is this happening? So thank you guys. Make sure you guys are getting prepared and ready and have an evacuation route. Have a plan. Have some water tanks filled up, ready to go. Have some preps in your prepper pantry, right? This is cutting off the highway, cutting off supply chains, right? There's some of these areas, there's no back roads. Like, there's nowhere to go. When the highway's shut down, there's nowhere to, like, get off. Like, oh, I'm going to take these roads and divert it. There's nowhere to go. There's not even a dirt road. Might be some dirt road that goes to some ranch or farm and just dead ends or goes up to the mountains or something. There's a lot of places out west here. They don't have the normal infrastructure in the east. They don't have as many roads, and if the highway 90's down, it's over, right? Nothing's moving. Everything's just going to stop and get backed up, right? Or it's going to be diverted way back, right? You're going to be diverted 10, 20, 50 miles back where the nearest town is, and then you're going to have to take a totally different route and going to cause delays, disruptions, all these things. So make sure you're stocked up and ready to go in case it happens to you and you're prepared for anything like that. All right, so thank you guys. I hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.